up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, everybody? It is episode 14 of Make the Right Play. As always, we got the coach on my left here, and we have the wonderful Yabui Media. Shout out Yabui Media, making everything possible behind the camera. And it is Victory Wednesday here at Make the Right Play. It is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. I don't know where to begin. Honestly, I have so many emotions running through me right now. So we'll throw it over to you, Coach, first before we get going. How are you feeling? How what is your raw emotion right now?
Honestly, just pure happiness. I am so happy. I have to say, this has been rough since 2020, and we weren't even allowed to question anything because it was the great lie if you question anything going on with the election, and it's just so wonderful that. It's like justice is served. Yeah. It's like we finally have some justice for the injustice that went on in 2020. Yeah,
I really agree with you. And it's, watching the results kind of go in, throughout the night and as, as the night went on. And you came in running in because, the coach has moved on from traditional media.
Let me tell this story. So, I don't trust the mainstream media, right? Because they're a bunch of liars. And I'm in the other room, and I'm watching Charlie Kirk live on X. So I walk into the kitchen. My husband was gray, literally gray. He looked sick, like he was ready to start vomiting. And I'm like, what's wrong? Things are great. Charlie Kirk at that point had already called North Carolina, had already called Georgia. I said, they already called North Carolina and Georgia. And my husband's like, no, it doesn't look good. It looks really bad right now. I said, you're going to listen to the freaking fake news? I'm like, listen, we got to put on the Charlie Kirk podcast because that's lies that you're watching. That's lies. So we put on the Charlie Kirk podcast, and at first, I'm getting insulted. I'm getting made fun of. Guess what happens? Everybody starts loving that podcast last night because they were coming with the numbers real time. Leave the fake news.
Yeah, they really were. I mean, I have to give him credit, right? So you got to give credit when credit is due. And it was like watching a bunch of Presleys on their laptops. They all had the Mac laptop.
It was
total nerd fest. Like all these guys, and they had their MAGA hats on and sweatshirts, and they all had their MacBooks, and they were all just typing away.
This county just came in.
What I'm seeing here from New York Times, but here I'm over here. I'm seeing, and they're just consistent. They're all going back and forth, and this is what I see right here, and this one, and then they have the ABC interactive map, and they had it on a big screen.
But they were filling it in themselves.
Right, they were filling it in themselves.
They weren't waiting for the mainstream media to give the approval.
Correct. And they were right on every state.
They were right on everything because they got the raw data, they had the numbers, and they would say, listen, Trump is up by 118,000 votes. There's only 100,000 votes left. He won. That's it. Unless they come up with new ballots, that's it. He won.
Well, I mean, even that happened on CNN because they refused to give him Georgia. And they were like, they still 100,000 votes still in play. And they're like, well, he's up 150,000. So does it really matter if they have 100,000?
And then they would compare. They would say, okay, back in 2020, this is what was going on.
Right.
And, Trump is outpacing Kamala by this amount. I mean, it was just, I have to say, it was so great, A, not having to watch the mainstream media, but B, being able to see the truth right before your very eyes, not a bunch of BS, and then every time we would look at CNN, because we set up 2 TVs because nobody believed me that the podcast would be that great,
we had the
watching
dual TV
Charlie Kirk
setup
live. And so we're watching CNN, and it was so depressing. All they did was show blue county after blue county. They were really manipulating their viewers, and you could see it in real time.
Yeah, they were really trying to kind of provide any hope. Clearly for the Democrats who were watching it, and the hope didn't last very long, to be honest with you. I mean, it was a total ass kicking up from start to finish. From start to finish, it was a beating.
Listen,
clearly.
If the mainstream media was being honest, this would have never happened because they would have reported on the fact that Joe Biden had dementia, or that Joe Biden wasn't really running with a full set of faculties, and you guys would have had a primary.
Right.
But the media's been lying forever. So they lied, they covered up for Joe Biden. Then they lied and tried to act like Kamala was a great candidate when we all know Kamala sucks. And then they lied about what was going on leading up to this election, and clearly Trump was ahead.
And created a narrative around Trump and just attacked him from every sort of angle. It's just,
You know what the most disgusting thing was?
What was
the
that?
Hitler.
Yeah,
the Hitler.
that's
Because
easily.
even my daughter, right? She's studying the Holocaust. And her teacher goes to the Google and she just Googles, she just puts in Hitler because she wants to teach her kids a little bit, give them some background information.
Right.
Everything comes up Trump.
Yeah.
Everything comes up Trump. So then finally the teacher's like, let me try Adolf Hitler. And then finally the real Hitler comes up. How disgusting is that?
Yeah.
Like they're brainwashing these
disgusting.
kids. They're brainwashing the main public. Like everybody is being lied to.
It's disgusting. Yo, I see you guys in the chat here. Cat Lord 25 cats.
That's right, Cat
MSM
Lord.
has lost all credibility. Yeah,
That is the truth.
100%. Carlos, not going to lie, I'm scared to be a woman right now.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
That's because the mainstream media is putting fear into your heart, honey.
And that's we're going to get to, and we're going to talk about the media narrative because it hasn't stopped. Right now that the election is over, you'd think you'd be like, all right, the election's over. The American people, this is the decision they made. It's very clear what direction they want to go. But no. We're going to continue. And as we're calling the election, we're going to, go forward and continue the Hitler narrative. We're going to continue the narrative that he's going to become a dictator and attack. This is all a lie. This is not truth. They've been saying this since 2015. If he was going to be a dictator and take over the country, he would have did it in his first term as president. That's not what's going to happen. And they're feeding you these lies and deceit to make you scared, to make you live in fear. And it's not true. You cannot continue to listen about what it is.
You have to look at a person by their character. What do they do? Not just what people say. What do they do in real life? And what does Trump do in real life? He builds things. He fixes things. He's made New York City beautiful. He supported Jesse Jackson when he was running for the Rainbow Coalition. All of a sudden, he's this horrible racist. Everybody was kissing his ass on The View the day before he came down the escalator.
Yeah.
I mean, I've known Trump my whole life.
You have.
And The Apprentice, that was a fantastic show.
#1
Everybody
rated
loved
show.
it. Yeah. So it's like sometimes you have to take some responsibility too and stop allowing yourself to be tricked.
Yeah.
Like you have to start doing your own research. And with the internet now and Elon Musk buying X, there's no excuse. The information's out there.
Yeah, the information is out there. And I see you, Prez. Yeah, so Project 2025 is another farce, right? So Project 2025 was something that they came up with to say that Trump was supporting this project that has a lot of radical ideas in it. And he said countless times that he does not support Project 2025. He had no involvement in the writing of Project 2025.
He said he never even read it.
He never even read it.
He said, I didn't even read Project 25. He has his own plans. He doesn't need to take anybody else's plans.
Yeah.
All right?
It's true. And Trump is a businessman. So like you said, he has his own plan. He knows exactly what he's going to do from day one, even till now. Like he's already doing things now. Things are already changing. Things are already happening. And it's the day after election day. He had a plan. He's got a plan and he knows exactly what he's going to do. And it ain't Project 2025. But again, that's what the media is going to tell you. They're going to tell you that he's going to do Project 2025. They're going to tell you the lies and the deceit to cause fear, to cause chaos, to make people go crazy in the street, make people do things that normally you wouldn't do. But that's what they do. They're fear mongers.
When there's chaos and confusion, that's usually where Satan is. I'm sorry to say. And they cause a lot of chaos and a lot of confusion. And they're terrified of RFK because RFK is going to go against the pharmaceutical companies, which are part of the interlocking corporations. And they're the ones that, even though the mainstream media doesn't have a lot of viewers, they get a lot of money because they carry water for the pharmaceutical companies because they don't want to really report the truth about all the bad things that they're doing to our medicine, to the vaccines, and also to our food. Because remember, they need to make customers. So they make us sick with the food, and then they give us the antidote with the bad medicine. It's the truth. It's really the truth.
You're 100% right. But, like you said, it's all interlocking. We talked about it in previous episodes. They're all in bed together. It's all one big machine. And Trump is not a part of that machine.
Well, you know who's a part of Trump's machine now?
Who's that?
The smartest man in the world, Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
I mean, if you want to be part of a winning team... MAGA. Elon Musk, man. The guy used to be a Democrat too his whole life. But then 4 years ago during the election, he started figuring out, he was like, the media is lying. They're not really telling the truth. And then he saw the way that he was being censored on X. And he saw like the way people were being shadow banned. He bought X and all of a sudden he just uncovered the truth.
Even when they kicked Trump off of X and
Yeah.
they silenced him, like
Yeah.
he was like, "That's it. Like you're clearly like this is talk about fascism.
Yeah.
Talk about fascism. They'd call Trump a fascist and a dictator. Nobody, actually does fascist things like the Democrats. They do it all the time with
They're the
censoring and telling you how you're supposed to think and how you're
Yeah.
supposed to act.
They're
It
the
happens
worst.
all the time. You can't have your own opinion with that party, ever.
Well, you know what I find that's so funny is that you look at the electoral map, and let's be honest, pretty much the whole thing is red.
Yeah, it's all red.
And then you have the blue, just like on the coastlines.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, those are like the shittiest parts of the country right now. I mean, I don't mean to diss.
It's true.
But California is
It's
a dump.
true.
San
Yeah.
Francisco used to be beautiful. Los Angeles used to be beautiful. It's a dump now.
Yep.
I went to New York over the summer. I spent a month there.
Yeah.
I was freaking running away from rats. Okay?
In the city.
I have a lot of friends in Connecticut. Let me tell you, they're not that happy. They're not
No, they're
happy. And you go to the stores in Massachusetts, everything is behind lock and key. You can't just go buy deodorant. You got to go get the manager. Can you please unlock it? Because there's so much crime.
Yeah.
And then the red states, they're going to tell us that we don't know what we're doing and we need to
Right.
listen to them.
Yeah.
That makes no sense. You should be listening to us. Like, look at the results.
Ron should, I think, put on like a clinic or something on how to be governor. I think you should do like a full
gosh.
class and say, this is how you got to be governor. This is how
Yeah.
you do it. A, B, and C. Step 1, step 2.
Oh my gosh, they acted as if Florida too was like the biggest fascist state in the whole
Oh, my
country.
gosh.
There's so much freedom here.
There
It
is.
is like, I have to tell you, I love living in Florida. It's
And
like everybody lives and let's live.
Right. And the BS too around the Amendment 4, because I see that all over everybody's,
I know.
everybody's Instagram, all the feminists out there. Amendment 4, they're not allowing abortion. You can still go get
Unrestricted
an abortion. You can
But it's
still get it.
unrestricted. I'm sorry, but I
Yeah.
don't want to live in a state where you can get an abortion at 9 months. It's
Right, at
disgusting.
nine-
It's
exactly.
real. Do your research. Don't
Yeah.
listen to Kamala when she was like, that's not true. That's
Yeah.
not true. It is true. They do abortion at 9 months in certain states in this country, and it's disgusting.
And you can't
I
do
don't
it.
want it in this state,
Yeah.
and neither did the other people who live in this state.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it so great, is that you vote for what you want where you live.
Right, it didn't pass. It's got to pass. I mean, come on. I just worry about the education system, and for when I have children, especially a daughter, I just don't like the way he speaks about women when it turns me away. How does he speak about women that turns you away?
He said grab him by the pussy.
Is it the locker
He
room
did the
talk?
locker room talk
Is that
and said,
what it
I'm going
is?
to grab him by the pussy.
Talk?
Yes, it's the locker room talk. And Donald Trump
It's locker
can be
room
a bit
talk.
abrasive. But would you rather have a smooth
bit.
talker who's full of shit and
Right.
then you live in shit? Or would you rather have somebody abrasive who gets stuff done and actually has a clean life? Like when you look at Donald Trump, yes, he's been married 3 times, but he gets divorced. He doesn't stay married and go to Epstein Island. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. A lot of these people stay married and have secret lives, and it's disgusting. And they actually have spouses or girlfriends or nannies that have miscarriages or terminated
nannies.
pregnancies. I mean, I'm just saying
That's funny.
that's not
Yeah.
Donald Trump. He may
Right.
be abrasive, but his family, for the most part, the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
He
No.
has good kids. He
100%.
does.
His kids are living proof of success. I mean, you have Barron who's going NYU.
Yeah.
He's going to NYU.
Well, I mean, look at his daughter.
Ivanka.
His daughter's a respectable woman. His sons are respectable people. I mean, nobody has a perfect life. If you meet anybody who says they have a perfect life, they're full of shit.
Leesan got it. I'd rather have somebody who respects all humans. You're the face of the country. He does respect all humans, though. He does. It's locker room talk.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sorry. It's not politically correct. I understand that you have, you're upset about something that happened between 2 guys in a bus, and it was locker room talk. That is what it is.
Yeah, it was a
Girls
hot
do
mic.
it too.
Yeah.
Girls do it too. I hear it all the time. I lived with girls. I lived in what they called the cheer house. Okay? I know locker room talk. I've heard some crazy shit in my day. I've heard some wild stories and wild things and wild jokes. It's locker room talk.
Right. It's
2
privacy.
guys.
Yeah.
It's 2 guys talking it out. And that's what it was. And when he's conducting business and when he's out there, he demands respect when he's in the room. There's a reason why other world leaders respect him. He is he is a
His campaign manager was a woman.
Exactly.
He always puts women in positions of power.
Absolutely.
Not like just little secretarial positions.
Right.
He actually had a woman being his campaign manager. You can't say that about Hillary. She had John Podesta, a man, right? So she, the tough woman, couldn't even come out. She had to send John Podesta out for her. Then you had Kamala yesterday, right?
Yep.
The tough woman couldn't even come out and face the crowd and concede. She had to send a man out to do it for her.
And send them home.
Okay? Yeah.
Send them home.
Send all those people home. But Trump has women in high positions of authority in his cabinet.
Yep.
So it's not what you say, it's what you actually do.
100%. You're 100%. I mean, look at Nikki Haley. The only reason anybody knows really who Nikki Haley was is because she ran the United Nations when Trump was president.
Yeah, she was the head of the
He put her
yeah.
in charge of the United Nations. He puts women in power. He does. He talks the talk and he walks the walk.
Yeah, that's
he does
the real
what he does.
truth.
And
That's
talk
how you
about
tell the
being a
truth.
strong woman. You want to talk about somebody, a candidate that respects women? How about Kamala? Her husband beat up a woman.
Yeah, and the
Her
media
husband
hit it.
beat up
The
a
media hit it.
woman. How can you be for women and say that you're for women's rights and you support women, but your husband is a domestic abuser
And got the nanny pregnant
and got away with it?
while married.
Come on. I mean, come on. Are you really for women then? Talk the talk and walk the walk.
The media doesn't want to drag those people, so they cover up everything for them, and all they do is deflect and try to demonize Donald Trump.
100%.
And you can't fall for it.
100%.
Just do your own research. Like, don't just listen to the media. There's a lot
Yeah.
of information on X that you can start listening to.
Tons
You know?
of information.
But I think we should celebrate.
I think we should too. I think we need to start getting the celebration on. Good times are here. I'm ready to do the YMCA right on camera. Let's pop open the champagne.
Yeah.
And get fired up here.
It's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's fun to stay at the YMCA. I was so happy. I had that song in my head all day today. I couldn't take it. I was just the whole day I kept hearing that song.
It's true.
You know?
I wish I could do like the Trump dance.
Oh, that's an easy dance. It's almost like the merengue. You know?
But he does the
Yeah, that's like the merengue a little bit.
the hands. I love that. All right, let's get this open here.
Make sure you pop the cork going towards the wall. We don't want to get the TV or anything or any of the equipment. Woo!
It's an exciting day. It's an exciting day. It's time for a new era. It's time for a new era.
All right, hold on. I'll put this down.
Sorry. I feel like we should be talking a little more.
No. Oh, sorry about that. Well, we have the champagne going. The champagne is flowing. All right, you want to get the other one?
Yep.
Here you go. Your buoy. We have to have a toast and celebrate.
Absolutely. Have to get a toast in here.
Yeah, and then just fill that one up a little more.
Well, we can
Well, all right.
special guest.
Oh, for the special guest?
Behind the scenes.
Oh,
special
well,
guest.
yeah, I wasn't even going to bring it up, but
No,
I will
it's
put that there then for the special
not,
guest.
not doing anything. A special guest.
Oh, this actually, my husband bought it for me for my birthday.
It's true.
And it's been sitting in the fridge. And what better time? He even told me, he said, take it to the show and celebrate, honey, because you and Carlos work so hard trying to show people the information that we're keeping from the public. Because you know why? We love our country.
We do. So let's have a toast
All
to
right, I
everybody
have to
who's
say
watching
this,
too.
though.
Okay,
All right.
go ahead. You give the toast.
Raise a glass to freedom. Raise a glass to freedom, everybody.
Right.
Trump 2024.
Trump
Anything else?
2024. This is a new time, right?
The
This is a
golden
new
age.
time.
The golden age.
The golden age
right
has started.
There.
Cheers. Let's cheer it out.
Woo!
The golden age has
Cheers.
started. And we're going to take a sip here. But this is a start. This is a start.
This is a new beginning.
One thing I wanted to say, and I said this morning because I made a post this morning. I know what it felt like to lose, right? In 2020. We all did.
Well,
And-
that was different. We didn't lose.
Well,
we got
yes,
stolen.
and we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there because
I mean, there's a difference. I could lose fair and square.
I agree.
I don't like
I
when
agree.
people cheat.
I know, I agree with you, but you know what I was saying is that we need to take this as an opportunity to become united again. This needs to be. It's time
Listen,
to reunite
the only way
country.
we're going to unite is with God. I'm sorry to say,
true.
but unless we get our
Gotta put
spirit
God
right,
first. got to put God first.
You have to. The American people need to start working on their spirituality and start believing in God, start going to church, start praying, start volunteering again. Let's make America great by volunteering again, helping out their fellow citizens, and get in there and stop being a spectator on this thing called life.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's a perfect way to say it. And listen, guys, like we're saying, you can't listen to the lies that the media is telling you. They're there to cause division. We cannot continue to listen to the BS.
Let me ask you, did the videos upload yet, you boy? All right, so we have to play this video because
the chat's buzzing right now.
Hey!
Sorry about that.
I'm so sick of the View. I woke up with less rights this morning. I know, that woman is, but you know what? Honestly, forgive them, Father, for they know not how brainwashed they are.
Right.
A lot of them really,
it's true.
I'm almost to the point where I have sympathy for these people because they're so brainwashed.
Well, I got to say, I've been receiving hate all day long. All day long, I've been receiving texts and receiving, hate. Like, I'm a piece of shit.
From the tolerant people.
From the tolerant people.
From the tolerant,
who
people.
teach tolerance. And listen, I've been getting texts all day. Like, it's been an all day thing. And I'm not calling anybody out. But it's, and they are upset. And listen, I have no ill will. No ill will towards anybody that's voted Kamala. I don't have any ill will. You guys have been fed this nonsense, this propaganda, the lies and the deceit. You've been fed all of this crap for years, for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
For 10 years, you've been fed.
For longer than that, Carlos, because you're a baby. Let me tell you, this has been going on between Bush, Gore, the hanging Chad. This has been going on for a long time. Politics is a dirty business. That's why Alexander Hamilton started the New York Post.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I need to start a newspaper to get my side of the story out. Because people only listen to one side of the story.
It's true.
And you can't be a tool in their game. You don't want to be a pawn in their game. You have to get yourself, all right, what sits right with me? Let me read both opinions.
Right.
And that's how I was raised.
Yeah.
My grandfather would buy two different newspapers because one was more conservative, one was more liberal, and he was like, I want to see,
wanted to read
both opinions. I'm not just going to believe one person. You know what I'm saying? But I saw that Jill Biden's outfit was on fire last night. We got to show that clip. Oh my
gosh,
Let's show a picture of Joe Biden yesterday heading out to the
I think I labeled it like Joe Biden's outfit.
No,
or
Joe Biden.
Votes red.
Joe Biden.
Joe, yeah.
I thought you said Joe.
Did I say Joe? No. I think it said Jill Biden.
We have to show her outfit heading out to the polls.
It's a picture. It's not a clip.
Yeah, it's just a picture. Sorry.
But yeah, no, we got to show
We
it.
didn't have any internet service today.
I know.
So.
There it is. There's the outfit. Look at that.
Girl heading to the polls.
That's a lot of red for a blue vice president. Red and gold. Red and gold. Interesting outfit.
I think she had
Trump's favorite colors.
Sneakers.
I think, she could have been having those Trump sneakers. Those Trump sneakers were unbelievable when you wore that. If you guys haven't seen this video, oh my goodness. It's on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching YouTube after the show, you got to go watch this video. We did a little campaign ad. No, it's not embarrassing at all. Just check it out after the show. It's fantastic. Great job by the coach with her performance of fighting the power. It was perfectly done. But that outfit. Let me tell you, she went in there and she filled out that bubble.
Tell me that wasn't a subliminal message saying I'm voting red.
Yeah.
The president's wife does not dress all in red on election day.
100%.
You know what I heard? She hates her.
I seriously, that's no joke. That's no joke. He hates her. It's the truth. He hates her.
And so does Joe Biden.
It's interesting though because I didn't know this, and we were talking about this the other day that Trump said that he's going to pardon Hunter.
Yeah.
And he's going to pardon Joe and pardon, So no shit. Joe is like, I'm on that team because he's getting out of all the BS that they've had on him.
Well, did you hear the Department of Justice is dropping everything today?
Dropping everything on Trump.
They're dropping everything.
Totally.
You know what I think? I think Joe Biden called the Department of Justice and said, you're going to drop it now.
Yeah, he said
because he's like, I'm hoping that I make nice with Trump and then Trump will give me a solid back. I don't have any proof. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, that guy was eating his humble pie.
Yeah.
Oh, it's, he's going to be a sitting president. Yeah, you know what they're going to be doing for the next 2 months? Shredding documents.
Totally. Like, get rid of this. He's coming. He's coming. Elon is coming.
They're going to be throwing bleach.
Yeah, totally. Lighting everything on fire. They're like, get rid of this. Get rid of this. They're trying to take Hunter's laptop away from Joe again. They're like, give me that laptop, Joe. holding on to it. He's like, please. No, but it's true. They're definitely cleaning house, and I cannot wait for that government efficiency meeting that Elon is going to have when he gets in there.
Oh, so do I.
I wish C-SPAN would show that instead of watching the stupid Senate floor where you want to just like die the whole time you watch it. I'd rather watch Elon hold a meeting, say, what do you do here? Why do we pay you? What are you here for? And fire people. I want him to walk into the White House and drop the sink.
What's everybody's secret fantasy of the department they want to get rid of the most? Like, is it the FBI, the CIA?
Oh,
is
gosh.
it this? Is
we
it
know
that?
what your department is.
Yes, but we won't say it until the end. That'll be a surprise to everybody.
That's a surprise.
But, let me know in the chat.
Yeah, what do you guys want to see?
Where do you want the government to cut the most?
Yeah, and if you guys want to join the show, there's a link at the top of the chat. If you
you
scroll
can
up to the
call in
top, you can call in and chat and tell us your concerns, or if you want to celebrate with us and have a sip of champagne with us, you're more than welcome.
But Carlos, there was another hero, a martyr, a tragic hero who helped to change the election.
This is a sad story.
What is that? That's the scariest sound you'll ever know, especially if Kamala would have won.
Yeah. You've been hearing that all the time.
Let's see the clip of Peanut.
Peanut the squirrel?
Peanut and what his owner had to go through.
Right, so this is the ransack of the house.
This is freaking crazy.
Peanut's owner, house
I know,
destroyed.
it is crazy.
Let's see it.
The officer opened the back of the toilet to see if I was hiding something.
The clip of Peanut just
That's
hanging
to find a
there.
squirrel. Let somebody come in here and do this to your house and keep it like this. I actually have broken soap bottles on the ground. I have a stain on my ground. This is to find a squirrel. This is to find a squirrel. This is to find a squirrel.
Look at that. Busted open that door.
That's that. See that? Do you see this, guys? You see that? You want to tell me that that's acceptable?
Well, that's what the
This is
government
the
does.
destruction that these people left in my
They
house.
trash your
So
house.
if you guys want to explain to me how this wouldn't devastate you, I have never been in trouble with the law whatsoever. There's another suitcase that came out of the closet. I don't have anything else to show you guys because the mind-blowing thing is the only places that they fucking destroyed was my room. The only things they destroyed were my room. They raided my house for a squirrel.
Oh, that's his pet.
Peanut.
Oh my gosh, that's his pet, man. They ransacked his house and took a squirrel. That's messed up. And let me tell you, you think, oh, come on. Those people, they exaggerate that the government one day is going to be and come into my house. If they'll do it for a freaking squirrel.
Yeah.
You think that if the government gets so much control that they won't do it to you for whatever reason they could think of?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, this was a baby squirrel this guy had found on the side of the road for 7 years. The squirrel was his pet.
Yeah.
And they literally trashed his house to get the squirrel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, that's messed up. And that squirrel scared a lot of people, and they were like, oh, gosh.
It did. Well, look what JD said. Let's show what JD said about the squirrel. I have that, too. It was a funny clip. JD Vance on Peanut.
So I know Don's fired up about Peanut the squirrel. We were on the way down here from Cincinnati. He was like, is it really the case that the Democrats murdered the Elon Musk of squirrels? And I said, yeah, it sounds like. Have you seen the videos of this squirrel? He's like, he's a genius, or he was, unfortunately. But the same government that doesn't care about hundreds of thousands of illegal immigrant criminals coming into our country doesn't want us to have pets.
I mean, yeah. It's just such an unbelievable story about Peanut.
Crazy. Like, you can't even believe that that's a true story.
Yeah.
But it's a true story.
It's true.
Where? New York with Governor Hochul. That lady's a wackadoo.
Rest in peace, Peanut.
She's a real tyrant, that lady.
Yeah. Governor Hochul. I'm sure she's vomiting all over.
Oh, my gosh.
Trump's
It's
taking no
terrible.
prisoners, I think, this time. It's going to be very much
I don't want
I'm
to
not
assume.
here to make friends.
I don't want to assume, but I think that people will be going to jail this time.
Yeah.
Because you cannot weaponize the Department of Justice and get away with it.
Right.
What happened to him is unprecedented.
Yeah.
What's happening to the mayor of New York, Eric Adams, unprecedented. It has to stop.
Yeah.
It has to stop.
100%.
And somebody needs to be held accountable. You see Letitia James looked a little nervous today. She's like, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for Trump. I've been studying things.
She did look a little
Really,
little
Letitia?
scared.
Come on.
It's true.
You know?
Oh, I'm just so. Peanut was the GOAT. Rest in peace. Peanut, what? I mean, people loved Peanut. It seems like he was. I never had the fortune, I guess, of finding Peanut on the internet. I heard Peanut was a little bit of a sensation, but.
Well, listen,
Elon
it's just
Musk,
a sad story because people love their pets.
It's true.
You know, and
It's
that
true.
was that
People do
guy's
love their
pet. I
pets.
mean, he freaking had a cowboy hat for that pet, for Pete's sake.
That's
when you know
unbelievable.
you love your pet.
Yeah.
It's when you're like getting clothes and stuff like that for it.
And dressing it up. Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You're 100% right.
You know, but the thing is that the mainstream media never wanted to report what was really bothering people.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to report what it really concerns for Americans.
Yeah.
They didn't want to talk about the economy. They didn't want to talk about the illegal immigrants just coming into the country and causing crime waves to go up.
Yeah.
They didn't want to talk about, what's another thing that they didn't want to talk about? I mean, there were so many things that they didn't want to talk about.
Well, I mean, I think you're nailing it on the head. They brushed over the fact that Trump was shot. They brushed it over like it was nothing.
But that was them. Like, that was a deep state.
Yeah, that was them.
Iran,
But
they say Iran.
Like, I mean, you don't even hear about the Ukraine war anymore because they don't want you to actually know what's going on over there. But how about the fact that Russia and North Korea are now fighting together in that? You would have no idea. Nobody talks about that.
That's not cool. Like, a lot of people are against killing people. Like, we don't want our tax dollars to go to
100%.
kill people.
100%.
But the Democrats wanted to make everything about abortion and make everything about Trump being Hitler, and that was a losing strategy.
It was a total losing
They have
strategy.
to take ownership for that. But why don't we have the guy from CNN
talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So let's talk. Let's show the CNN clip of them taking some ownership here.
I like that answer.
Has won the national popular vote for the first time for a Republican for the first time since 2004. This is a big deal. This isn't backing into the office. This is a mandate to do what you said you were going to do. Get the economy working again for regular working class Americans, fix immigration, try to get crime under control, try to reduce the chaos in the world. This is a mandate from the American people to do that. I think I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up when they have complained about the things that are hurting them in their own lives. I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true. I mean, we were told Puerto Rico was going to change the election. Liz Cheney, Nikki Haley voters, women lying to their husbands. Before that, it was Tim Walz in the camo hats. Night after night after night, we were told all these things and gimmicks were going to somehow push Harris over the line, and we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong. But I think for all of us who cover elections and talk about elections and do this on a day-to-day basis, we have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
Exactly.
And the mainstream media has to, they need to accept some responsibility.
Yeah.
They really
100%,
do.
100%.
Because if they weren't lying, they would have exposed Joe Biden for having dementia a long time ago.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. They are serial liars.
He had dementia from the start.
Yeah.
From the start. The fact, I mean, come on, guys. Like, and listen, we're celebrating. We have champagne because we won. We took this country back. And people have woken up and seen the lies and the bullshit from the media. This is a statement win. Let's not get crazy. This is a statement win. But 2020, this dude was hiding in a basement.
Yeah.
Not going anywhere, not campaigning.
But listen, they wanted to get Trump out of office. So you got him out of office, expose him in his second year.
Right.
You know, expose him in the second year. Make them start to have a primary.
Yeah.
But the thing is that they wanted another puppet.
Yeah.
They didn't want to risk a primary
Right.
and get a candidate that they didn't like.
I mean, the party of democracy not having a candidate that they voted for is like, that should be enough said. Enough said.
They
right
need
there.
to stop with that. They need to stop with that. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
This is a time where if you're a Democrat, you have to look in the mirror. This is a look in the mirror type of time for you. And you have to decide whether you are going to be a part of the party that feels like you don't need to have a say in what's going to happen.
Well,
That's the truth.
What is it? The ruling class?
Right.
And the working class.
Yes.
And the Democrats used to be the party of the working class. But what happened was they all go to Yale, they all go to Harvard, they're all the elites.
Yep.
And that's why they're so insulting. And they go, uneducated white people voted. Oh, those Puerto Ricans, they didn't vote the way we wanted. You have to show Joe Scarborough. Show how insulting that freaking Joe Scarborough was.
Was it Joe? I don't think it was Joe Scarborough.
It was Joe Scarborough on MSNBC.
Okay, insulting the Puerto Ricans?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I think
have
it's
to
on
show
there.
it.
Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States. You know, you and I have talked about this before. A lot of Hispanic voters have problems with black candidates.
Right.
A lot
and
of
with other Hispanics, you got some that don't like each other.
There's a Reverend Al.
Right there,
He's
Reverend
made a
Al.
career out of this. So I have to say this.
Here we go,
Let me
let it
tell you
out.
something. They make it a business to divide Americans.
Yeah.
You know what's different
Yep.
about Puerto Ricans? You'll have one family. You'll have a gringo in the family. You'll have somebody black in the family.
Yep.
You'll have somebody like my daughter who looks like a Taino Indian in the family. And we're all the same family in Puerto Rico. We're there with our Puerto Rican flag,
Yep.
waving it like this. And making the plátano maduro, and we're dancing
true.
and we're happy
It's
and we
true.
love each other. And you know what? We're all Puerto Ricans. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what you look like, what it is. We're family.
Yeah.
We are family.
Right.
So for this guy to say that bullshit after trying to use Puerto Rico and, to take down Trump goes to show how these people peddle in divisiveness.
100%.
This is their game. And we have to start
100%.
beating them. We have to wake up and say, wait a minute. I don't want to be a pawn in their game. I don't want to say, you know what? I don't like that person anymore because they supported Trump and Trump is Hitler, so they must be Hitler.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
wait a minute. Look at the Puerto Ricans. The Puerto Ricans are a bunch of racists too. Joe Scarborough just said it because they didn't vote for Kamala. No, the reason why they didn't vote for Kamala is because she was a bad candidate.
Right,
Okay? Bottom
right.
line. Bottom
She
line.
was a bad candidate. And it's so funny you say that because not even a week ago, they were saying how we needed the Puerto Ricans to win the election because Trump is such a racist and
Yeah.
Trump hates Puerto Ricans.
Yes.
And then not even a week later, you're going and saying the Puerto Ricans are pigs and,
Now
and
it's
that they
the Puerto
can't.
Ricans'
And it's
fault.
all their fault.
And you know who else? It was the black men.
Yes, the
that
black
was their
man,
fault too.
the black man.
This is so disgusting. They peddle divisiveness.
100%.
It's identity politics we need to stop.
Yep.
We need to put America first and say, you know what? We're all Americans. Be a Puerto Rican. Be like Puerto
Yeah.
Rico. You can look all different ways, but we're all still Puerto Rican.
Right.
Okay?
And we're all American.
That's what I'm
And
saying,
we're
Carlos.
all
We all have to be
American.
American
Yes,
now and
yes.
stop with the divisiveness.
Right. The blacks, the whites, the Puerto Ricans, the
We have to say I'm from the
Chinese.
Bronx.
Yeah, like
Whether you're Jewish, I grew up on the Lower East Side.
Yeah, break it
In my
down.
classroom, I had Jewish kids.
Yep.
I had Chinese kids.
Yep.
I had black kids. I had Puerto Rican kids. I had Dominican kids. And then I was the only half Irish, German, Dutch.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I was the only
You were
half
everything.
white
You had a
person,
little
right?
of
Half
everything
white,
there.
half Puerto Rican in my class.
Yeah.
And you know what? We celebrated everybody's differences. But that was back in the day, in the 80s, PS 110. We used to go to Chinese New Year. Let's celebrate Chinese New Year. An excuse to party. Let's do Hanukkah. Oh, Hanukkah, oh, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party and all that's a horror. Like, that's what we did back then. And we used to have Christmas carols. And we would decorate the
Well, you can't say
classroom.
Christmas anymore.
I mean,
You can't
but
say Christmas
we were
anymore. You can't
all
celebrate.
The sixth grade of PS 110, all of us.
Yeah.
There was no, you're this, you're that. No,
Right.
we loved each other, and that's what we need to get back to. And we need to stop making
100%.
kids feeling guilty and being able to share who they are with their classmates, with their people, so that way we can appreciate everybody, not homogenize everybody.
Yeah. You're 100% right. But you
Because
know
we're
what?
all American.
You know what it kind of makes me think though? And we're gonna get to this. Obviously, Cat Lord is already talking about it. It's when you were in school, it was the very beginning and the start of the Department of Education.
1979, Jimmy Carter gave us that gift.
Gave us the
Thank
Department
you
of
very
Education
little.
in 1979. And from what I feel and what I've seen and what the results have shown is that the Department of Education has also played a part in this divisiveness.
Yes.
And has also played a part in causing this sort of
it's called indoctrination.
Exactly. And it is such a huge issue. There is no reason that the United States of America should be 36th in the world in education.
Well,
that should not be the case. That shouldn't be the case. We were the only country. We went to the moon, for Christ's sake.
Yes.
How did that happen? How did that happen? You created a Department of Education to try to centralize and educate the kids, and we've only gone down. At what point does the results matter?
You know why, Carlos? Because they're educating workers. They're not educating for American exceptionalism.
Yes.
They're educating to have a working class of people. And I say we take all that money from the Department of Education. Cat Lord, you beat me to it because that's the same one I want to close to. We take all the money that we're funneling into the Department of Education. Let's give it to the teachers.
Yeah.
I say we give it to the teachers and give them a nice living wage, like a good wage. And then we even have performance reviews. And so we have standardized testing.
Yes.
So we know that people are on level for the whole country. But let's pay them six figures. Like, why not paying them 100, 125,000, 150,000? They make a lot of money instead of giving it to this freaking black hole called Washington,
Let's pay them
D.C.
what they're worth, what they earned. That's what it is. If you're good at your job and you have students who are having success and they're learning and they go to the next level and they're better than the other kids around you because of what you've done, you should earn more.
That's what they do in IB.
And that's called incentivization.
But that's what they do. My son went to PHS
incentives.
IB, International Baccalaureate Program.
Yes.
The teachers get a bonus for every kid who passes a test.
Right.
So they have an incentive to teach those kids so well.
Incentivized.
That's how they pay for their summer vacations, because for each kid who passes a test, they get a $50 bonus. You have 200 kids, 300 kids, or all your students, you're paying for your summer vacation that way.
Have a great time.
And don't give it to the black hole of Washington.
Yeah. And listen, guys, that's how you pay the teachers more. That's how you do it. You have to have a motive. It has, you need a motive to be better.
A motivation.
Right. And that's what it is. If you do good at your job and you're getting paid what you're worth, you're going to get paid more. And that's what it is.
But why are we always trying to control everything too?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be micromanaged from Washington?
It's always all about control.
Don't you want to be able to go and make your own lesson plan and say, listen, I have this group of kids. I'm going to try to teach them this way.
Right.
I don't want to take the worksheet that Washington, D.C. tells me I have to give them and hand it out. I want to teach them an alternative way, and you might be better off doing it that way.
Well, and you know what? You know something you said earlier, too, that I thought was really interesting. Not all kids and not all people need to learn the exact same way.
No, there's
or learn
always
the exact
different
same
ways. Yeah.
things. If I'm living in Kansas, in the middle of nowhere, in a giant field, if I live on a farm, why am I supposed to be exactly educated the exact same way and learn the exact same thing and learn the exact same way of living as the person who lives in Lower Manhattan? Why?
Right, because
we don't live the same life.
Exactly. Somebody in Lower Manhattan should maybe learn finance or learn fashion, like do something in the industry, the trade that's near close to them that they can intern in. And same with somebody who's in Kansas. Oh, let's set up some kind of internship program in the agricultural fields or whatever. I don't know.
Like
what other industries.
And sometimes you have to cater to your customers.
Yeah.
Cater to the customer of who you're serving. And you're serving, you can't compare the same. It's not the same. It isn't.
But Jimmy Carter is considered one of the worst presidents ever.
Of all time.
And he's the one who created the Department of Education.
Top 3, I think.
And we're really going to fight to keep the Department of Education. Man, I hope Trump blows that shit up. I really do. And I know I'm going to have a bunch of teachers who are pissed off at me. But I'm telling you, it's because I want you to have more money and have Washington to have less money.
But I mean, there's some out there that I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But there's some teachers out there that really don't want to work harder. They don't. And they get the care for. But listen, what if you want to get off the farm? That's fine. Then you work harder. You cater to that student.
Well, look at J.D. Vance. He got off
look
the
at J.D.
hillbilly
Vance.
eulogy,
That's the perfect
whatever.
example. He went from Kentucky to Ohio. He went to Yale. His mother was a drug addict. If you go watch his movie, he has a movie out on Netflix. Go watch the movie about J.D. Vance's life.
Yeah.
And about his story. Talk about going from middle of nowhere, Kentucky, to vice president of the United States.
But Cordell, you know what it is that a lot of people want to learn the industry that their family is in.
Yes.
Because they want to stay there. They
Right.
don't want to leave their family. I know people, when I was living in Connecticut, they've been there since 1644. They literally, I bought my house.
It's true, yeah.
And the people, when I bought my house, they said, so you're coming from New York, right? Our family's been here since the town was founded. I
Yeah.
said, 1644? She said, yes. And I'm like, oh, okay. So wouldn't it be good to figure out a way to learn something that you can make money if you don't want to leave your town and your family since 1644?
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Not everybody's going to want to be a farmer, but a lot of people do want to stay where they live, where their families are. They want to put down the roots.
And you still get an opportunity to not be a farmer if you don't want to.
Right.
We're not taking that away from you.
Right.
But we're saying provide opportunities. Provide an option where it's like,
Don't
this is what I'm going to do.
micromanage from Washington.
Exactly.
Because
DC
what does
doesn't need to oversee
Washington
it.
know? They don't know.
100%.
They don't know shit. Let's be honest.
DC, Washington, D.C., and Dad says it the best, the worst managers of money of all time. There's nobody who manages money worse than the government.
They get so much money and they
So
lose it
much
all.
money.
And they need so much more.
There is zero reason we should be this amount in debt.
You would think with so
Zero.
many people from Yale, from Harvard, that one of them would figure out, let's take a third of the tax dollars, invest it, so that way we don't have to tax the people so
it's all
much.
money laundering.
No, they just want to spend it and steal it.
It's all
Allegedly.
money
I
laundering.
don't wanna get in trouble.
That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
all money laundering.
Well, that's what
they
Ukraine
money
allegedly
launder
is.
that money, and they just take, and they just launder it. Mm-hmm. Why? Like, how do people get? Greetings from
from
Manchester,
England.
England.
All
Hello,
right.
thank you so
What's
much for
up?
watching. We appreciate you being here.
I know
But
you're
that's-
happy in England because I know that people in England are getting arrested just for putting a post on Facebook.
That's true.
what I hear.
That's
that
why
they-
Russell Brand ran away.
That's why the scariest sound is that knock on your door. I'm telling you, Carlos, I have a good feeling that there's a great awakening.
Yeah.
And every day I start my day praying for the country, for an illumination of consciousness. That way we can all join forces together.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, guys, you cannot believe the lies that they're telling you. And this is what we're trying to say. You cannot listen to the crap that they're going to feed you over the next 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks, you will find the mainstream media being the most divisive it has ever been. And the reason why they are doing that is to create chaos and create hate.
A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. And that's what they want to do.
Yes.
I really believe that people want to destroy America.
I'm telling
They're
you.
not having these policies for no reason. Like, there has to be some kind of
Watch
reason.
the news over the next 3 weeks. You will see the divisiveness in the newsroom will be more than ever before.
Well,
in the next
I am
3 weeks.
praying that that's not the case. I'm praying that, God willing, we can join and be united.
That's a crazy lie.
American birds have great teeth, unlike the chicks in Manchester.
That's locker room talk. There you go, Bella. Here's your example right there of locker room talk. American birds have the great teeth, unlike the chicks in Manchester, England. I mean,
Well, Carlos,
listen,
I
I
have
have
to
no
say
argument
this
about
morning,
that.
when I was going over the Trump victory, right?
Yeah.
I came upon this post on X, and it really moved me. And I would like to play it because this has been my song for 2024.
This has been your
especially
song
when I was
forever.
alone. But when I was alone in New York, there was sometimes I had some lonely, like I would miss my family, but I was in New York doing the play, and I would listen to the song, and it would uplift me. And they sang it last night at the Trump party, so I would like to play this video.
okay. You buoy, it's How Great Thou Art video. Should come up. After the win.
That's what we need in the United States of America.
Yeah. And only one party.
I mean, did you see how diverse that crowd was? And
Yeah.
they were all Americans.
Mm-hmm.
And they're singing and praising God.
Yeah.
And they're all together. They're not fighting. They're not being divisive. But you watch the mainstream media and they're going to say everything they can to badmouth the Trump supporter. Let me tell you,
do those
I'm
people
sure.
look like Nazis to you?
No.
Like that, for real? For real?
I mean, you think Hitler? Hitler wasn't Christian. Hitler was this Rhineland religion, like this freaking devil worshippers. A bunch of Nazis were, and they're praising God. They're praising Jesus. Like they're so happy because they want to bring this country together.
Yeah.
Like see with your own eyes what's going on that the mainstream media will never show you. That's at the Trump party afterwards, celebrating the victory.
You know what Trump supporters do? I mean, and this is things that they won't tell you about. Trump supporters wake up every single morning and they sit on the couch for 20 minutes and they pray. I see it every single day. Those are people that had their prayers answered, that are praying for the nation and praying for the future of this country. And there was only one answer that was going to take care of the future of this country. Not the person that's going to put us in World War III. And kill off a generation, probably. Honestly, that's what was going to happen. You were going to kill off a generation.
Of Christian males in Eastern Europe.
That is a party of people, and those are a group of people right there that had their prayers answered. The people that pray every single morning that the country will turn around and go in a different direction. That was them singing, thank God that God intervened and listened to us and answered our prayers. They've been praying for years, since 2020. That God will come and save us and end this. Things were bad and people answered the bell. They said they stood up to the machine. They stood up to the media. They stood up to the bullshit that they've been fed for the last 3 years, for the last 10 years, to be honest. And they said, no, you know what? You're wrong. And I know a lot of people who said, you know what? The media is lying. I know a ton of people who voted Democrat their whole life, who went to the poll and just voted D and said, you know what? I'm done. They're lying to me. It's so clear that they're lying to me when they tell me inflation is down and everything is great, but I'm going and paying $4.25 a gallon of gas, but you're telling me inflation is down. When you tell me that crime is low, but then you don't actually report the numbers, and then the numbers come out and you have a ton of crime in the inner cities. When they lie to your face and tell you that things are good, and you can see by looking out your window that you have no power and you have no, trees are down everywhere and you're not being taken care of because they're busting people in from other countries and it's right in front of your face, but the media tells you that everything has never been better. People are waking up. It's time to wake up and see what's right in front of your face. And the people did that. And I never felt more hope for this country than I did last night, because I finally saw that people are seeing what I am seeing. And people are waking up and saying, you know what? They're right. They are lying to us. And that guy said it perfectly on CNN. We clearly did not do a good job lying to the people. And we didn't cater to the other people.
Carlos,
who
you
didn't
know
feel
what they're
heard.
so angry about? They're so angry because Puerto Ricans voted for Trump. Black people voted for Trump. White people voted for Trump. Chinese people voted for Trump. And the country's becoming united under Trump. So they're getting nervous. They don't like that. They want to keep trying to divide us.
Yes.
So they have to try to say, oh, be mad at Puerto Ricans, be mad at black people, be mad at the uneducated white people. Women, be mad at your own husbands. Your own husbands are no good. They are trying to divide us so much in this country. And that's what scares them so much about Trump, because he's uniting us.
Go ahead. I would love to hear your question. And if you'd like, feel free to join the show. There is a link in the Facebook chat. You're more than welcome to join the show and ask us right on the show. We'd love to hear from you.
And I have to say, one thing is that we are Americans.
Yeah.
From Puerto Ricans, let me tell you, we've been here forever. Blacks, been here forever. Whites, been here forever. Like, we are all Americans. And I have to say, a lot of the illegals do not have the same values that we have in this country. We are a Judeo-Christian valued country.
Amen.
And I'm sorry to say, But some of the people, they have more indigenous values where they don't worship Jesus, and they actually,
you're right.
tend to go to the dark side with their beliefs. And I don't think that we should just let anybody in this country in. Like, you have to have our values and have an oath and become an American citizen, not just come in, and unaccounted for.
And you know what the difference is, too, from back then to now? The people that immigrated before, they had to earn it.
Yeah,
all those
there was
Irish
no
immigrants that
freebies.
had to go fight in the Civil War.
Yeah.
Right? You had to earn it. Nobody got more abuse than the Italian immigrants. The biggest lynching in American history was on Italian immigrants. That's the truth.
That is the truth.
That's the truth.
That is the truth.
So you used to have to earn it.
Yeah.
And honestly, to be honest with you too, and what I think a lot of Democrats don't even realize, there's a lot of people coming into the country that, are bad and illegal, but there are some people that are probably fleeing from, countries like Venezuela, countries that are dealing with communism.
But they have to come in legally.
No, 100%.
And we have to vet them.
100%.
And you know what? I'm so sorry to say, but we should not be losing American citizens to crime committed from illegal immigrants. I'm sorry.
I agree with you.
And we should not be
You're 100%
putting,
right.
A bunch of people who just came in the country illegally while we have homeless veterans, homeless citizens of our own sleeping in the streets with the rats in New York City. But if you're an illegal, you get a hotel room.
In Roosevelt
That's
Hotel.
not right. That's not right.
It's not right at all.
We should, every American should be rich. If you have money for that, every American should have money.
Yeah.
Every American.
Yeah.
You don't say, at the expense of the Americans, we're going to let them sleep on the street with the rats, but we're going to put the illegals up in the hotel room.
And that's what Trump wants. Trump wants everybody rich. He's a business guy. He's like, let's make money. Let's make money. He's not a war guy. Guys, come on. Wake up. There was never more peace when Trump was president. And then they spill this rhetoric. Let's show what they said as soon as Trump finished, when he won the election. Let's see what MSNBC said right at the win, because that's just, it just makes me sick that as soon as he wins the election, they go right into it. It's like, MSNBC. Yeah.
Can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president. And for so many of you watching right now, that news is, to say the least, a lot to digest. I understand that personally. After he lost 4 years ago, he refused to accept the outcome and incited a violent insurrection on our nation's capital. He's campaigned while facing criminal indictments related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 results, and he's run as a convicted felon. During this campaign, he has also promised to essentially be an authoritarian leader, to use power like no American president ever has before, and wield that power to go after his political enemies.
That is just such hateful rhetoric.
Total hateful rhetoric.
I mean, and no wonder people are scared. That's why I don't get upset when people tell me, I'm so scared of Trump, or Trump is this, Trump is that. And I listen to that's how the media reports about Trump. I'm like, listen, I forgive you. I understand that's how the media reports on him. I really urge you to go do some more research because you can't trust the mainstream media.
So, Virgil, I see your question here, and I'm going to read it out loud for the people who can't see on YouTube. So, I've worked in psychiatry here in Manchester, England for many years. I respect the decision of the American people who I adore, but do you see a danger with a very obvious narcissistic personality disorder? Thanks very much for allowing me to speak. Lots of love for Manchester.
You mean Kamala Harris has a narcissistic personality disorder?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Listen, one thing I want to tell you, Virgil, is that it's okay to show off sometimes. It is. It's okay it's okay to flex sometimes. When you've had a successful life like Donald Trump has, let's be honest, he's had a lot of success.
He's had a lot of failures too.
Like, he's worked hard. He's gotten himself out of that.
Right. He's worked hard. I've seen him hustle over the years. I grew up with him in New York.
You've earned that. Right? You have to be able to earn it. I'm not mad at an athlete for being like, for you, Virgil,
you're spiking the football.
You're a football in England, but you're a soccer guy, right? Are you gonna get mad when Harry Kane, is like, I'm the best in England and that's the reason why I'm on the team? Or Saka? Are you gonna get mad at Saka when he's like, I'm a 19-year-old and I'm on the English national team because I'm the best? Right? You're not going to get mad at that. Yeah, that's a little narcissistic, but he's the best. And listen, all the American politicians are like that. It's the truth. There's some narcissistic people, but you have to look underneath that.
Yeah.
You have to look underneath and figure out what is really going to transpire with the person that you pick. And from what evidence shows and what results show is that Trump demands respect. He commands respect when he goes into the room. And one of the best lines I heard was that he showed peace through strength. Mm-hmm. He showed peace through strength. He said, we're the United States of America. You are not going to walk all over us. If you're going to walk all over us, go ask how ISIS did. In his first 7 days, he dropped the mother of all bombs and then tweeted it. He's like, I just dropped the mother of all bombs on ISIS and defeated ISIS in 7 days. You could be narcissistic when you do that. It's just the truth.
And you know what? I mean, I'd like a good leader who's strong, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wants their captain to be strong.
Yes.
Nobody wants a weak captain.
Right.
And I have to tell you, I mean, I feel like we throw that word narcissistic around a lot.
Totally.
Trump has been selfless a lot of times too. I mean, the man took a bullet for our country. You don't take a bullet for our country because you're thinking, oh, I want everything to be about me. You take a bullet for this country because you know who you're thinking about? Your grandchildren. That's who you're thinking about. You're saying, I want to save this country so my grandchildren can grow up in a country where they will have the same freedoms that I had the benefit growing up with. And they don't give him enough credit for that.
100%.
And that is not narcissistic. I'm sorry. So I feel like that's something that you probably got from the mainstream media.
Donald Trump flew to Iraq and Afghanistan on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And spent Christmas Day with all of those people who are deployed overseas and fed them and hung out with them for hours on base and spent his whole Christmas, rather than with his entire family that's in the United States, he flew to Iraq. To a war zone and spent the entire Christmas Day with all of those soldiers.
Well, he's also growing up. He spent a lot of time researching things and making New York City better for all of us.
We'll talk about Walkman Rink. Remember how
the Walman Rink.
The Walman Rink, yes.
I mean, so I think that Donald Trump has such a bad rap that's your perception of him in England. But growing up with him, because I'm a New Yorker and I grew up with him my whole life, my father used to work for him. Yeah. I think that he just believes in America exceptionalism, and we're gonna bring American exceptionalism back, baby.
That's right. That's right. It's time to bring it back. It's time to bring it back. 100%.
With RFK.
No,
with
100%.
Tulsi. We're coming back.
Yep. We're so back. We're so back. And real quick, I want to show just a bit from Trump's victory speech, because it was a great speech. And then we gotta plug some stuff before we get going here. But let's just show that clip one, because the pride in the room was just unbelievable. I want to just show it.
Thank you very much. Wow. Well, I want to thank you all very much. This is great. These are our friends. We have thousands of friends on this
it's just
incredible movement. This was a movement like nobody's ever seen before. And frankly, this was, I believe, the greatest political movement of all time. There's never been anything like this in this country, and maybe beyond. And now it's going to reach a new level of importance, because we're going to help our country heal. We're going to help our country heal. We have a country that needs help, and it needs help very badly.
That's perfect. It's time to heal. It's time to heal the wounds and get back to America first. The USA, just the passion.
And the better that America's doing, the more we will help other countries.
Right.
Like, we're a very charitable nation.
Too charitable.
Well, no, Carlos.
Charitable.
Listen. You know, I give till it hurts.
You give till it hurts.
I believe
That's
in being charitable.
That's truth.
So we're a country that will give till it hurts. Look at what we did, but not for wars. But for aid, for making things better, for building, not destroying. That's what we need to do.
That's true.
But I just wanted to show you, this weekend, we have to celebrate the What the Heart Wants, over 200,000 downloads. So Veterans Day weekend, this weekend, November 9th, it's a free community event, 5 to 9 p.m. And we're going to celebrate. And we're going to have, Carlos and I will be there, a lot of the other wonderful actors, and the great Enrico Turnstall will be here.
That's right, the man himself.
It's going to be so exciting. And also, I heard some of the Ferry Pass middle school basketball team might be there to celebrate.
Hopefully
celebrating. So it's going to be a wonderful night. And this is something that brings people together, celebrating the American exceptionalism.
And the American dream living right before your eyes. I have to say, Elrico Tunstall, he exhibits the American dream every day.
And American exceptionalism.
Chasing his dreams and making it happen. And really, congratulations to him. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Yabui, who was working behind the camera, filming all that, making it everything possible. Congratulations to all you guys, because it really is. It's an amazing job from an independent film in a smaller community, a community not well known, and you really have done a fantastic job. So this is a very celebratory event. Come out, celebrate with us, have a wonderful evening. It's going to be fantastic.
At the SCI building, what the heart wants. We're going to have a great time. It's going to be fun. Like, it's going to be a really fun night.
And then we got the big movie premiere in December.
December 8th.
The big movie premiere. Southern Village, his latest movie. We're both in it. Yabui, obviously, is the man making it all happen. And Elrico, it's going to be wonderful. So we're going to want to check out that. But this weekend, it's going to be great. Celebrating Veterans Day, too. Elrico, a veteran, Purple Heart recipient. He's an amazing man. So let's all celebrate this weekend. It's going to be a great time. Shout out the Ferry Pass Middle School girls basketball team playing in the championship game tomorrow. The championship game. So shout out there. We got Olivia. It's going to be awesome. So we're very, very, very excited to see that
Under the legendary Coach Marsh.
So a lot of exciting things happening, Coach.
Very exciting.
And all capped off by going into a new era with Trump winning and being back.
This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age.
I'm so over the moon. But guys, it's time to put the hate and divisiveness behind us. It is time. Let's move forward in a new direction where we take care of our people first. Let's move America first. Let's all get rich. It's time to be rich. Let's have a future. I'm excited.
It's time to be exceptional.
Yes, it's time to be exceptional. Let's go. So, guys, you know where you find us. We're Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. We're on Rumble. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on Amazon Music. You can find us everywhere. We're live every single Wednesday night, so make sure you guys tune in. We'll be here next week. Thank you so much, Vigil, first-time chatter, hanging out from England. So we're international now. We appreciate you coming and hanging out with us so much. Chat, you've been fantastic tonight. It's been such a pleasure. Kat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. It is awesome. So I really, really, really hope that you guys continue to come hang out with Chad. Join the show if you'd like. And it's been great, Coach. I'm so excited. Trump is here.
And everybody, hug a liberal who's suffering.
Yes.
Offer them some love and compassion.
Right.
Don't be mean. And just forgive them when they're, attacking you. Just say, listen, I forgive you.
Yeah.
Because they've been lied to for a long time. So let's have some compassion while we try to bring them over to the light.
Yes.
So everybody have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Have a great week. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, baby. You know where to find us. Let's go.
Bye.